So you've scrolled through the Giflib code and dusted off the old Spring hat. I think it's time to dig into our app and start making some changes. We'll begin by discussing how to configure our Spring app to use Hibernate. Here we go! The first order of business in our configuration in this app is to add the necessary dependencies. We have 4 that we're going to add. First is the dependency on Spring ORM. This allows us to integrate an object relational mapping library seamlessly into our Spring app. So I'll add that next. We'll need that at compile time. The group name is org.springframework. The ID is Spring ORM, and the version is 4.2.5.release. The next will be the ORM implementation we're using, which in our course is Hibernate. So there again, we'll need it as a compile time dependency. Org.hibernate is the group name. Hibernate core is the ID, and we're going to use 5.1.0.final. Great. The third is a library called DBCP from Apache. DBCP stands for Database Connection Pooling and allows our app to reuse database connection objects, since those objects take some time to construct, being that they're dependent on establishing a connection to the database. So here's the dependency for DBCP. We'll need that also at compile time. The group name is org.apache.tomcat, and the ID is tomcat-dbcp, the version number 8.0.32. Finally, let's add our database provider, which will be H2. To remind you, H2 is a nice tool because it allows for a range of connectivity options, from in-memory databases that are created and destroyed and held entirely in memory from the time you run your app to the time you kill your app, to portable, single-file databases that don't require you to start a database server, and finally to full server-based databases, which do require you to start a database server. You've seen the file-based mode in Hibernate Basics. In this course, we'll experiment with server mode. So let's add that dependency now. Again, this is a compile time database. The group name is com.h2 database. The ID is h2, and the version is 1.4.191. Now, let's pop open the Gradle tool window and refresh our dependencies to pull down those jars and add them to the class path. You'll hit that refresh button there, and at the bottom you should see some messages that indicate that dependencies are being resolved and downloaded. And with those libraries added, we've wrapped up our Gradle build file. Now that said, we still have some work to do in configuring our data source and Hibernate integration. We'll tackle these items next.